Welcome to Off the Wall, often imitated, never duplicated. My name is Trey. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out the show this week. Happy New Year, happy holidays to everybody. Hope you had a restful and somewhat enjoyable holiday season these past couple of weeks. We're in 2026 now. It's going to be a very, very exciting year for arena and indoor football, and we're going to go through it all on Off the Wall here. So make sure you're staying tuned with us. But we've got a really good show for you for the first show of 2026. It is wide receiver Lowell Patron Jr., who played most recently with the Green Bay Blizzard the past couple of seasons, making it all the way to the IFL National Championship last season. But this upcoming season, he'll be with the Jacksonville Sharks. So we dive into that decision to go over to Jacksonville, his past couple of years in Green Bay, his adjustment to indoor football, and everything in between. So very exciting conversation with Mr. Patron. So excited to dive into that. Also dive into some league news after that as well. But before we do any of that, it is time for social plugs. That's right. If you don't already, please make sure you're following us on all the socials at Off the Wall FB. F is in foot, B is in ball. Off the Wall FB. We're on X/Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Go give us a follow on there and come join the conversation. Love chopping it up with folks. I will. I do appreciate the hot take and the cold take and the take that's somewhere in between. I appreciate a bad meme. I appreciate a bad joke. Like let's let it fly. It's the off season. We got to entertain ourselves somehow. So come join the conversation there. And if you're watching on YouTube, hello, thank you for being here. It's probably going to be the last full episode with Christmas lights up. So enjoy the view while you can. Please make sure you're liking the video and subscribing to the channel as well. We're also going to do a nice little call to action this week in the comment section. So let's know. Next week, we're going to do a mailbag episode in addition to an interview that we've got banked. So mailbag episode basically means drop a question in the chat, drop a question in the comment section of this video, and we'll run through it and we'll see what we got next week and talk about it and see what you guys want to talk about, see what you guys want to learn more about. So if you have a topic you want to dive into, drop it in the comment section of this video. And on episode 79, we will dive into those. But if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, thank you for doing that as well. Please make sure you're liking the episode, sharing it with a friend, leave a review, hopefully 5 stars, but hey, do your thing. I trust your judgment. And let us know your thoughts there as well. So we've still got Off the Wall t-shirts on offthewallfb.com. Also have the Royal Retros affiliate link in the description. So scroll down just a little bit, whether you're watching or listening, scroll down a hair. Click through that link and use code Off the Wall for 10% off your purchase on Royal Retros. And let me know what you end up getting from there. Lots of cool stuff on that website. So let's not waste any more time. Let's dive into the interview with Mr. Lowell Patron Jr. All right, on the show this week, we have one of the top big play wide receivers in the indoor football game. He spent the past couple of seasons in Green Bay with the Blizzard, but he will be making his way down to Duval County, Florida for the 2026 season with the Jacksonville Sharks. His name is Lowell Patron Jr. Lowell, appreciate you taking the time to hop on here. Happy holidays. How are things going in your world?
Oh, everything's good so far. I can't complain.
Good. That's good to hear. Off season treating you well?
Yeah, it's good. I've been training a lot off season, so trying to get in shape for the season come up.
There you go. What you got going on off the field during the off season? You do any coaching or any mentoring or anything like that?
So I did coach last year at this high school, Churston High School out there in Portsmouth, Virginia.
Okay.
Helped out with receivers, but after the season, I didn't coach because how late the season came up, so I didn't really have time and stuff like that. But
Right.
I still work out with some of the guys out there. They'll hit me up, try and get some work in, so I'll help them out as they like their high school season and some of
Yeah.
them in college. So, and right now, actually, I coach the middle school team in Isle of Wight County, which is
Oh,
like 15 minutes from my house. It's a middle school basketball team. I help out with that.
oh,
So
very nice. Okay. All right. So you're
yeah,
staying busy. Staying busy there.
yeah,
Well,
doing
let's
something.
dive right into it. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your football journey, and how did you find your way to the indoor football world?
Well, I went to school. I went to Bluefield College. Now it's Bluefield University. It's in Southwest Virginia. So I went there for like throughout 4 years. I redshirted my first year and whatnot. Didn't really play as much. And
Mhm.
then second year, same thing. Didn't really play. But my last few years there, I showed what I can do on the field. So my last season at Bluefield was the same year COVID hit,
Mhm.
and I found I had another year. So I was trying to transfer, and then I found out my last season in Bluefield didn't count towards my eligibility, so I ended up transferring, which was a tough process at the time 'cause we didn't have the portal or whatnot.
Yeah.
But I found a school called Wheeling University. It's like an hour from Morgantown, West Virginia,
Okay.
and I connected with a coach. My offensive coordinator, he's actually now the offensive coordinator at Delaware State, Nemo Washington.
Okay.
So we connected. Played 2 years at Wheeling, and then after my last season at Wheeling, I tried the whole bowl game circuit and like I did different showcases and stuff like that. Didn't really hear anything.
Yeah.
And then I had a coach at Wheeling, Coach Dre London. He knew Coach Roberson at Green Bay, contacted him, and then that's how I found out myself in the IFL.
Oh, very nice. Okay. So the network
Yeah,
that you had a network and, just kind of
yeah.
worked like a
It's
game of
prob
telephone.
yeah, so
So tell me about
so
your time at Wheeling. I know it's a smaller school, not one that people typically think of when it comes to football, but from what I
mhm,
gathered, it was a newer program. What
yep.
about the university stood out and eventually led to you deciding to go there from Bluefield?
Uh, I really did like, me and Coach Nemo talked a while, like, for a while, so he was always
Mhm.
someone I was close with. When I found out he got a job at Wheeling, he instantly reached out to me, like, asked me if I wanted to go out there, and I was the same
Yeah.
way, I didn't know anything about it. So I was, like, kinda confused, but I thought
Mhm.
about it, and, like, he was somebody I trusted, so I kinda just went with him there, and then my time there was cool 'cause, uh, Bluefield, like, I wasn't the player I am now, like,
Mhm.
I didn't really, like, understand I understood football, but I didn't really, like, know, like, the base of the game, like, breaking down coverages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when I got to Wheeling, it was an adjustment. So I got there, we got different routes I gotta run, I gotta read the defender. Which I didn't do at my previous school a lot, but I actually, like, learned the game a lot. Me being with Coach Nemo and Coach Bruni and all the coaches over there, they were always, like, hard on me, so they see my potential. So anytime, like, after practice, before practice, I'm in like, in the coach's office watching film with them, like, staying after, doing extra stuff with that, and that's just how it happened.
Nice. Okay. Well, what do you think are some of the biggest misconceptions out there about D2 and NAIA level programs? Because we see it in the IFL and some of the other arena leagues. There are some ball players that come out of these levels. What do you think are some of the biggest misconceptions out there?
Uh, I mean, I always looked at football as football no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Obviously, the only big I tell this to anybody, the only big difference I feel like from D2 and D1 and NAIA stuff like that is like the offensive line play. I feel like
Mhm.
DBs, receivers, and like quarterbacks at times too are all on the same level playing field. So it's just about getting your opportunity when it happens. You gotta make the most of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, especially that's like something that I've seen as a common theme on the interviews that we've done on this show is just you
Mhm.
gotta you gotta like stay ready.
That's
Like
it.
the worst thing you can do is be a year or two out of playing competitively, and
Yeah.
then an opportunity comes along, but then suddenly you're rusty because you haven't been out there, right? So
Yeah.
it's one of those things where it's like you gotta be active, you gotta get out there.
Mhm.
Did you know about the indoor arena game when you were growing up, or did you kind of learn about it towards the end of your college career?
I didn't know when I was growing up, I didn't know it was a video game. I knew about indoor football. It's a crazy story, actually. I actually never told anybody this. My
Okay.
family probably knows this, but uh, growing up playing like rec league football and whatnot, I always like that's when I like grew to like the love for the game and everything. So I'll be at home sometimes, like in my living room with my like helmet on, act like I'm playing the game, like in the like actual football game. Like I'm calling plays. I'm
Yeah.
like down on the couch trying to catch a pass, like getting tackled by like an imaginary character, something like that.
Uh,
And like I remember vividly one time, like when I first seen arena football, it was around the same year the Steelers beat the Cardinals in the Super Bowl. So I was like, I'm not a Steelers fan, but I was mimicking Santonio Holmes,
yeah, oh,
that
yeah.
Super Bowl catch. I had the
Yeah,
visors
yeah.
on and everything. I was in the living room, and then like I went to like on ESPN. They said like arena football, some like showing highlights, and I just saw like all the guys wearing like the cool looking visors and like jump over the
Mhm.
walls and high scoring. So like that's how I knew about the game. And always heard about it like in high school and in college. I just never really tuned into it. I knew about certain teams because of like Kurt Warner and all that. So just
Right, yeah.
always knew about it.
Yeah, like, what did you think of the game before you started playing it, and what was 1 or 2 things that kinda surprised you about the style of play?
At first I was like, man. it's just like I don't know. It just didn't seem like real sometimes. I don't know how to explain it because I'm
Yeah.
so used to playing like outside, and I'm like, how? At first, I was like, how people like how they playing football inside an arena, and then I don't know. It's just it seems
Yeah.
like like when it's a crazy story too. Like my first game in Green Bay, I told one of my teammates, I'm like, bro, this is like the WWE with football. Like it looks crazy out here, but that's how I always thought
Yeah.
about it. But now, like playing it, like it's really like it's still football. So like you still got to go out there, just like how it is outside.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Football is football. It's just you're
Hmm.
playing on a, 25 by 50 field instead of a 58
Yeah.
by 100 field, right? So,
Yep.
well, as mentioned, you spent the first couple of seasons in the NFL with the Green Bay Blizzard and two of the greatest Blizzard teams in franchise history at that. What do
Hmm.
you think made those teams so successful on the field these past couple of seasons?
One thing we always had in Green Bay when I was there, my both my teams, my first year and this past season, we were all connected. That was one thing Coach Roberson like preached on, like connecting with everybody, like not just receivers hang out with receivers and
Yeah.
D line, O line hang out with each other. We all like hung out with each other, so our bond grew. And on the field, it showed too, because like we're not going, nobody wants to let their brother down. So that's where
Right.
that came from, just the culture out there.
Yeah, it seems like Coach Roberson has built that program into something really, really good that, they're gonna be competitive year in and year out.
Yeah.
But what was the city of Green Bay like off the field? It seems like it's a quiet little town, but they bring the energy when it's needed for their sports teams.
Oh yeah, the fans out there like they real passionate. Obviously with the Packers and with us,
Right.
well not with us, but with Green Bay too. But uh Green Bay as a town is real quiet, honestly. Till
Yeah.
like them get those game days. Like you can go out and probably just not see anybody, honestly. But when it's like game time, it's packed out there. But it's cool though. Just being from Virginia,
Yeah.
I never thought like I'll be living in Green Bay, Wisconsin. But that's how it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like people come from all across the state to Green Bay to support those teams there. It's like those are Wisconsin's teams
Yeah.
rather than just representing the single city. What was like something you expected heading into like signing with Green Bay and you're like, all right, I'm off to Wisconsin. And like what do you think was something that was like a pleasant surprise to you about the area?
Uh, I knew it was cold, but I like me being in Bluefield, and because Bluefield's a cold town too, and also like
Yeah.
Wheeling as well. So I came in, I'm thinking like it's probably I'm probably used to it. My first day I drove out there because I drove from Virginia to Wisconsin, but my
Okay.
first day out there was like 55 degrees and it's a little windy, so it's like it's a little chilly out there, especially coming from
Yeah.
Virginia. The people out there wearing shorts and they're like enjoy this nice weather while we got it. I'm like, this is February, it's like 55 degrees, windy and
What do you
everything.
mean nice?
Yeah, then like I literally the next day I woke up, it was like 13 degrees and snow all over the ground. I'm like, wow,
Oof.
this is crazy. Just yeah, just being out there in that snow and everything. I mean, I was ready for it, but it was different, definitely different.
Yeah, if you're not used to that, it can hit you like a ton of bricks for sure.
Yeah.
Talking about the indoor style of game, what do you think was one of the biggest learning curves for you when you were adjusting to the game as a wide receiver? Because, like you said, it is different from the outdoor game.
My the thing was just the high motion and whatnot. Learning how to
Yeah,
run that and like also using the high motion to set up my defender and run my routes. The way I ain't gonna lie, I got adjusted to it real quick in training camp. My
yeah.
first year there, I was going against Ravarius Rivers Vi,
Oh yeah,
and I had like a post route. And I'm like I said, I'm a rookie. I'm coming in fresh off like off college and or whatnot. So I run my high motion. I'm running just straight ahead, like no, not weaving nothing. Just run straight ahead, and Vi comes and just literally knocks me off the route. I'm
uh-huh.
like on the ground, everything. I like messed the whole play up. So after that practice, I talked to him. I'm like, so like, what's some ways? Like I asked him like, what are ways like stuff that he didn't like going against. So like
Yeah,
he broke it down, showed me what he didn't like, what he had to go against. So I tried to add that to what I did, and that's kind of how I just to is going against them every day, like him, Sean Steele, all them guys that practice every day, kind of helped me
yeah.
uh, learn and everything.
Yeah, there's some really good DBs that played in Green Bay over the years, and it's funny to hear that the way you approached it was, "What do
Yeah,
you hate? Because I
literally.
wanna do that. Because if you hate it, other DBs surely hate it."
Yeah.
But on the opposite end, what do you think are some of the strengths that you had as a player that made that transition a little bit easier for you?
Uh, I was always like being in college, I was always a bigger body receiver
Yeah.
and just like my like catch radius and everything. Like I've been in the stands trying to catch a pass, all kind of stuff. I think that kind of helped. That's helped out, and like it's like blocking aspect. I've had to learn how to I've learned how to get better at that, but just being physical too has also helped me out as well. So stuff like that.
Yeah, so speaking on making catches in the crowd and over the wall and all that, do you have, like, a specific one that comes to mind where you're like, "That was pretty awesome?" Like, one that was going
Uh,
over the wall and you were able to haul something in?
we played Tulsa this past year in the first round, and
Mhm.
I think it was like a third down play. I know Max was rolling out. The play that kind of broke down, and he threw like a perfect pass too because there was a DB like right in front of me. He threw it just over his fingertips, but I looked at it, I'm like, man, I gotta go over the wall. So I kind of like I knew I cleared when I jumped. So I just kind of I had focus on the ball, obviously, and I just say whatever happens, happens. So I, but
Right.
yeah, I landed fine. So I probably hurt the person that was sitting right there.
Oh, so you,
Yeah,
like, landed in someone's lap?
yeah. And there was
Okay.
another one. There was another one too. I would play. We actually had played Jacksonville. It was like going to halftime, and I had this like a fade ball in the crowd, and I like my whole face just like hit the chair.
Oh,
But still, I mean, I still called and everything, so it was cool.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, what was that, adjustment like with the wall coming into it? Like, was there a couple moments where you're like, "Ooh, that wasn't fun," or, tell me about adjusting to having, like, a ninth defender on the field at times?
Yeah, just I know one play in particular. We played Quad City my first year, and like how they, I don't know if you know how their end zone is. Like this one end zone is like the goalpost is like in the end zone, it's not in the back of it. It's
Yeah,
kind of weird setup, but I'm running and like I see the post route. I'm running, but I look at the goalpost. I'm like, man, like the goalpost. I'm thinking the wall's right there.
yeah.
So I like kind of stopped running because I mean I didn't know the ball hit the wall and everybody was mad. But just being out there, just trying to see like this, you guys know where you at, honestly.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, because you hit that wall full speed, I'm sure it does not feel good.
yeah, I've done that plenty of times.
Yeah, no, it does not feel good. Well, you mentioned a little bit earlier about film study and going over game tape and whatnot, and I see players mention that all the time. But what exactly are you looking for when you're going over game tape? Is it something where you're looking for like improvements on your own technique, or is it a tendency thing that you're looking for in your opponent, or a little bit of both, maybe?
A little bit of both, honestly. I like
Yeah,
being with Coach Matt too. We always looked at like tendencies of like what the defensive coordinator is running like on different downs, like what coverage is running. Is it cover one, anything else like that?
yeah,
So we just look at the coach tendencies, and for me personally, I try to look at the DBs, try to spot out their weaknesses and whatnot, and like how they looked the previous week against the certain receivers and like different teams that run some of the offense to like what we ran. So I just look at stuff
right.
like that.
Do you have a specific play that comes to mind of something that you spotted in film and then it just played out perfectly in the game where you're like, "We got it. That was exactly what we wanted, and we got it."
Man, probably a play we had against Tulsa the first time we played them.
Uh-huh.
It was a route me and Max was always working on in practice, like a little like a delay slant, because we knew how the defense was going to play it. We just had, like this had we just worked on it all week and it came to fruition. So
Yeah, that's gotta be a great feeling where you're like, "All right, if
yeah,
they show us this, we're gonna do this," and it works to perfection. It's gotta feel so good.
yeah.
Well, in 2024, Green Bay had an incredible defense with a good offense that was figuring things out. And last year, it was kind of flipped where a league leading offense with a defense that was kind of figuring things out. Did you guys feel that sort of shift on the offensive side of the ball where it was like, all right, we're kind of leading the charge here for the team here, and we're scoring 50 plus a game?
Yeah, we felt that. it helped out because our first year in 2024, we were all rookies and we was learning the game, so we knew coming into the next season that we was gonna take the leap and
Yeah.
just we were going to games knowing like we got like we gotta like go out there and put up points like we usually do. And Coach Matt was always good at saying like his famous quote, he'll say like the only thing that can stop us is us. So we always went out there with that mindset.
Yeah.
Uh,
Was there like a specific moment where you realized like things were clicking and like, all right, we got something special here with this group of guys that we got here?
um, like that first Tulsa game, like I mentioned before,
Yeah.
that I think we scored like 74 points. Literally scored. I think we probably got stopped maybe once. I
Yeah.
can't remember, but after that we scored like every single drive. Like we'll go out there, score. They come back and score overtime, same way. But that was a moment too. Like we felt like nothing. Like it was clicking and like nobody could stop us. So
Yeah.
ever since then, like we just kind of it was escalated and just kept it consistent all season.
Yeah, you had a handful of those games in 2025 where it was like they might
Hmm.
score 70, they might score 80 in this one. Like
Yeah,
you guys were knocking on the door a handful of
yeah.
times,
Oh
especially
yeah,
that Eastern Conference championship where I was like, this
that's another one. Yeah,
they each team might score 80 at this rate. Like it's
yeah,
crazy. What's
yeah.
it like being in the middle of that game and you're feeling it where you're like, like you said, we literally can do no wrong. Like, is it like a confidence boost or is it something where you kind of got to keep yourself in check at the same time?
Just keep yourself in check. I remember my first
Yeah.
year, we had somebody come and speak to us about like your mindset and like pressure moments, and he showed us a graphic of like a Patrick Mahomes like heart rate throughout pressure moments, and
Yeah.
he mentioned like he just stayed in that moment. He never got too high, never got too low. So like the games like that, we always like just stay in the moment, stay even kill, and just go out there and execute. Because like I said, Coach Matt said, the only thing that stops us is us. And also like at practice, we were good at that. Like we'll have some competition periods, whereas like we just go against the defense. We'll have Coach Roberson. He'll like have tough situations, not for us, like in our favor. So we just
Yeah.
had to come out that, and it kind of made the games easier when like those moments came upon us.
Yeah. Perfect practice, perfect
Yeah.
situations, right?
Yep.
Well, one of the things I'm interested in learning more about as we do this podcast is learning about like travel for away games at this level of football. Do you have any stories, whether good or bad, about some of the travel you did with Green Bay over the past couple seasons for an away game?
Uh, I mean, I think I mean, obviously your flight getting delayed. That was
Yeah,
that was a rough one. I remember we played Jacksonville. Our flight had got delayed. We was in the airport for a while, and we're getting to Jacksonville real late. That's always the tough part about it. But other than that,
yeah,
like it's a smooth transition.
good.
Uh,
Yeah, it just seems like sometimes those travel situations can just be a nightmare. Where, especially in
yeah,
a city like Green Bay, where not many flights are coming in and out of Green Bay, so
yeah,
I can only imagine that creates multiple legs of the journey.
yeah.
But in 2026, you're heading to Jacksonville, like we mentioned, to play with the
Mhm.
Jacksonville Sharks. Talk me through this off season and how everything unfolded and what ultimately made you decide to sign with the Sharks.
Um, I was talking to Jacksonville a lot throughout the offseason, honestly. Just talking to Coach Gibson, he just seems like somebody I was connected with kind of because he's all football. He was talking, and the way he wants to use his offense this year kind of fit how I want to play. So I just the community out there is cool. Just being out like playing against him, the environment was always like electric. So that'll be
Yeah.
fun. So I know like I go out there, it'll be all football. So it should be a good one.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit closer to home for you as well, right?
Yeah,
Jacksonville. Yeah.
it's about like 8 hours. So and like yeah, I have a lot of family coming in,
Yeah.
obviously. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, that would be sweet. Get some family
Yeah.
in there for some games. But
Hmm.
yeah, this Sharks roster, it's really talented. It's really coming together, especially on offense. And it seems like the pieces that have come together over the past couple years, players from all around the Eastern Conference, James
Hmm.
Cahoon from Iowa, Jimmy Robinson from Mass, you from Green Bay.
Yeah.
Did you kind of have that community with them already? And like, did you talk to them at all, or is it something where once you get in there, you'll start to build that chemistry?
I haven't talked to him honestly.
Yeah,
I talked to Jimmy a few times and Karan Ashley too, when I
yeah,
signed as well. But just seeing him throughout the league, like you mentioned Cahoon, we played against him when he was at Iowa, and I seen how he
yeah.
was slinging the ball. So like I know he wants to get it out quick, and that'll fit well. And we played Jimmy Robinson when he was in Mass. We played him in the conference championship in Green Bay,
Hmm.
and he was like, I was like seeing him. I know he's a dynamic runner as well, so
Yeah.
should be a good one.
Yeah, the Sharks team is going to be very fun to watch. Adding you in the mix there just gives them another big play wide receiver to open things up. So it should be
Yeah,
a fun time down in Duval.
yeah.
Um, but what has you excited about this 2026 season with Jacksonville? Not just with the team, but on a personal level as well.
Just a new opportunity. Just a change of scenery too. Just because I've been the same way I was in college. I started at Bluefield and I transferred to Wheeling.
Hmm.
Different opportunity. I look at it the same way as that. I played at Green Bay, had success over there, and I just wanted this different challenge.
Right. Yeah, going from one good program to another with strong coaches at the helm. Going from Coach Roberson to Coach Gibson. Yeah, it's gonna be a good fit for you. I'm excited to see it all happen.
Mhm.
But yeah, I appreciate you taking the time to hop on here and learn a little bit about your journey through the indoor game. We'll include all of your socials on the description here. So if you're watching on
Okay.
YouTube, scroll down just a little bit, go give them a follow, come go say hey, and yeah, before we get you out of here, for new players coming into indoor football for the first time, what would be some advice that you would give them about their first year in the league something like you wish you knew when you started?
Uh, if you like playing receiver, like don't just run straight in high motion. Just like kind of use like set them up and make the defender think you're going away. You like just use your stems well and everything like that. And obviously
Yeah.
come in shape too, because you're gonna get in shape real quick with like run all the high motions and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Do what DBs hate. That's
Yeah.
that's what we want.
Yeah.
All right, sweet. Well, like I said, socials are below. Go give Mr. Patron a follow and go say hey. And yeah, really looking forward to what 2026 has in store for you. And we'll stay in touch from here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Big thanks again to Mr. Patron for joining the show and talking about his journey through indoor football and what's next for him in Jacksonville. Touched on it a little bit in the interview, but that Jacksonville offense is looking really, really good. They've got a star-studded lineup of some really good players from all throughout the Eastern Conference. It seems like they're able to pluck and pick and choose who they want from each of their foes. So not only are you making your team better, but you're taking away some talent from some of the folks that you have to play week in and week out. So it's a little bit of a win-win for Jacksonville. But we'll dive into a IFL preview of all the teams a little bit closer to kickoff. But Jacksonville's looking like they're going to make another run at it and hopefully make the playoffs again and get a little bit further than they did last year. But yeah, big shout out to Mr. Patron, and please make sure you go follow him on socials and let him know you heard him on Off the Wall. We're going to dive into the IFL first, and not a whole lot going on over the past couple holiday weeks here, but a couple notable things here. First off, Tucson Sugar Skulls, they signed wide receiver Journey Sloan. Journey Sloan is, I think, an underrated wide receiver in the IFL. He came over to the IFL. He used to play for the Omaha Beef in 2023, part of that championship roster. And he spent some time in Duke City, San Diego, and Fishers the past couple of seasons. And he's reuniting with head coach Rashawn Kaiser from their Omaha days, and it seems like they're getting the band back together a little bit with AJ Jackson over there and from that 2023 Omaha team as well. So yeah, this Tucson team was at their peak over the past couple of seasons. They were like, okay, this team is feisty. This team can do some stuff on the field. They can compete with the best of them. But the lows were equally as polarizing, I guess. You get what I'm trying to say, but yeah, with Coach Kaiser assuming the head coaching role and the new ownership group coming into play, new logo that they released on their socials, not a new logo, but just like an adjustment of like the wording of Sugar Skulls on their current same Sugar Skull logo, just Sugar Skulls is in a white block lettering instead of yellow like it was before. So not a big one, but go check it out on their socials. Let me know what you think. Yeah, Tucson is looking like a team that is rebuilding and revamping in the right ways, and hopefully they'll be able to make some noise and build off of what they were able to do last season, where again they went like specifically the game that sticks out is the Bay Area game from last year, where they went into Bay Area and up to that point, the Tucson offense was really, really struggling. But then I think they ended up scoring like 55 or 60, damn close to it. So yeah, this Tucson team is getting a new coat of paint, new look, a new feel to it, and they're bringing in some high quality talent like Journey Sloan at wide receiver as well. So I'm excited to see Journey get his opportunity in Tucson and hopefully rise up as a wide receiver one and go from there. But yeah, Tucson, very interesting rebuild they got going on there, and hopefully they'll be able to add a few more pieces on the offensive side of the ball before the preseason camp starts over the next couple of months. And then heading to the Midwest, we're going to stop in Quad City. They signed a handful of players from their open tryouts in December, including friend of the program, DB Richie Murphy. So a few months back, I want to say it was in June or July. Go through the episodes. We have a full interview with him about his whole journey. He was a D3 defensive back who is going pro, and he's documenting his entire journey. So a lot of folks attempt to do this journey, but it's really cool to see the documentation of said journey, and he's pretty transparent about a lot of the stuff that he touches on. I wish he painted the arena football game in a better light at times, but hey, it's his story to tell. But yeah, he does a full peek behind the curtain. I think he has like a full 30-40 minute video on the actual tryout itself on his YouTube page. So it's really interesting content to get a peek behind the curtain, like I said, and kind of see it from his perspective. And he's gained a massive following on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok over the past couple of years as well. So Quad City, they signed a handful of folks from this tryout. So we'll have to see how some of them work out. But yeah, the open tryouts, they either, for the most part, across the IFL, they either happened in late December or they're happening in January, with one or two happening closer to the beginning of the season as well. So this is open tryout season. We should be seeing some new names, seeing some new faces, and these open tryouts, you'd be surprised at some of the talent that comes through on some of these open tryouts. And it wouldn't be surprising to see some of these names that are on the transaction wire from an open tryout be impactful players for the teams that they try out for. So, but yeah, Quad City signed a handful of players from there. So you can go to the goifl.com and look at the full transaction list for the full list there. Flipping over to the AF1 now, the Oceanside Bombers, they've signed a ton of players to fill out their roster, and it seems like they are focusing on a lot of local talent to the Southern California area, which makes a ton of sense for a first-year expansion team, especially as spread out as the AF1 is. You want to start building that roster on some local talent, and they're going to be an expansion team. There's going to be some growing pains. They have a very tight timeline for the team to get everything all situated, and to me, this is the team that you want to keep an eye on to make it to the beginning of the season, just because they were announced on a pretty tight turnaround, and sharing an arena with another team and some of the trials and tribulations that may come with that. It seems like there's a lot of growing pains. I think I've said it before on here or on another stream maybe, but it feels like they were probably better suited for a 2027 launch, given everything that we know now. But they were the ninth team announced for the AF1. So we'll see how everything goes. We still got 3.5 months until the beginning of the season, so they have time to get things situated. But ton of local talent. Quarterback Rudy Johnson, friend of the program, who spent some time with the San Diego Strike Force over the past couple of seasons. He's coming over to the Oceanside Bombers and presumably going to be QB1 over there. So they have a veteran quarterback at least as they kind of fill out the rest of this team and start to, develop a culture, develop a program, develop an organization at all levels on the field and off the field. But if there's going to be one to put under a microscope from now until kickoff, I'd say it's Oceanside. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. So hopefully they're able to execute it, do everything the right way. But like I said, it's a lot. We'll see how everything happens with that. Then one other piece of news from the AF1. Coming from Minnesota, the Minnesota Monsters GM and CEO Steve Walters resigned from the team. I don't think it was last week, but maybe the week before. But to me, this should be a big red flag for anybody monitoring the situation in Duluth or keeping an eye on the AF1. Not for the AF1, but more so for the Minnesota Monsters organization and their hopes of stepping in and picking up where they left off from the past couple of seasons where they absolutely dominated the TAL. Walters, he was instrumental in sponsorships, player management, game day logistics, and he was also a key driving force in the move to the AF1. If you remember a few months back, that was a whole talking point within the arena football landscape is that they were making a jump from TAL to AF1, different brand of football. They weren't taking the Duluth Harbor Monsters brand, but they were revamping it to be the Minnesota Monsters, and they were taking all their sponsors and everything with them, and it was a massive deal. And 2-3 months later, he's gone. He's no longer in the picture. So a lot of the people that made the Duluth Harbor Monsters a big success in the Arena League TAL are no longer with this revamped Minnesota Monsters team. Coach Tony O'Neill, he resigned a few months before Walters did. Walters resigned. Assistant coach resigned. Like a lot of folks have resigned, and they've been shipping off, or not shipping off, but well, they have traded a few people, but they've released a ton of the people that they signed when they first made the announcement for the AF1 as well. So it seems like there's some things and stuff that going on that we don't necessarily know fully about just yet, but I'm sure we'll find out more information as it comes to light, whether they let it come to light or it gets leaked and we find it out. But to me, the Minnesota Monsters, they should be treated like a true expansion franchise, expectations wise this upcoming season, just because a lot of the continuity that you would typically lean on in a situation like this, where it's a successful team coming from a successful run in TAL. It's the same team in terms of location and colors. It like the gears and mechanisms that make this organization run is going to be totally different. So there might be some growing pains along with that. But yeah, Minnesota, they should be pretty good in the 2026 season, but I think you got to reset the expectations based on everything that we've seen over the past couple of months. And then hopping over to the NAL for a couple of free agency notes. Defensive back Justin Gilbert is returning to the Sioux City Bandits for 2026. If you find yourself saying, Justin Gilbert, why does that name sound so familiar? Well, it is a familiar name because he's a former first round NFL pick for the Cleveland Browns out of Oklahoma State. He's quietly developed quite a career for himself in the National Arena League with the Sioux City Bandits over the past couple of years, and he's ready to run it back again. So Sioux City had a disappointing 2025 season, but they're looking to bounce back in 2026. The past couple of seasons before 2025, they were a very, very good team, very, very talented on both sides of the ball. So that is the standard and expectation that they have up in Sioux City. So we'll see what adjustments they're able to make and bounce back from a 2025 that I'm sure they would like to forget. And then the second one I wanted to touch on was wide receiver Duke Williams signing with the Salina Liberty. He's a former Buffalo Bills wide receiver who signed with the Liberty for the 2026 season after signing with the Albany Firebirds in 2025, but he was RTR'd, which is refused to report. It's essentially what it sounds like. He refused to report to the team after signing the contract. It is what it is. Before he ever played it down with the Albany Firebirds. So he's a good size wide receiver, good experience in the NFL, good experience at Auburn, where he was lighting it up at wide receiver. The Liberty need a revamp of this receiving core. They're number one all league, even beyond all league, all sport wide receiver Malik Honeycutt. He left the team to go sign with the Nashville Cats of the AF1 for 2026. So they need a new number one in Salina, and Duke Williams can be that if he shows up and if he's there, and if they're able to keep his head screwed on tight and not let things get out of control. So Duke Williams, tremendous talent, could be a really good ad for the Salina Liberty, but we'll see how the rest of the wide receiver room shapes up for the Salina Liberty, and if Duke Williams actually reports in 2026. And that's the show. Thank you so much for taking the time to check it out. Big thanks again to Mr. Lowell Patron Jr. for joining the show and talk about his journey through Green Bay and what's to come in Jacksonville. Make sure you go follow him on socials and let him know you heard him on Off the Wall. Big shout out to everyone that's been engaging on the socials the past couple of weeks while we haven't had episodes celebrating the holidays and everything, but we're back at it. 2026 is going to be a very, very fun year in the arena football and indoor football landscape, and I am excited to be a part of it. So lots of cool things to come. Working on some team partnerships, working on some content with teams that we'll be posting on the socials over the next couple of months leading into kickoff. So it's an exciting time to be a part of the sport, and I'm open and willing to collaboration with other content creators out there as well. So if you're watching this, if you're watching this and you're a content creator, thank you for taking the time. Shoot me a message on socials and let's cook something up. Let's see what we can come up with to work together. But speaking of socials, at Off the Wall FB, F as in foot, B as in ball, Off the Wall FB. We're on X/Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all that. So go give us a follow on there. Come join the conversation. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure you're liking the video, commenting. Remember, next week is a mailbag episode. So bring your questions that you got, bring the things you want to talk about. We'll talk through it. And then subscribe to the channel as well. Share it with a friend, all that good stuff. Off the Wall t-shirts, we still got those on offthewallfb.com. Go check it out there. And then royalretros.com, we got the affiliate link below. Scroll down just a little bit, about 2 inches right there. Click the link and then use code Off the Wall for 10% off your purchase, and let me know what you end up snagging from there. Lots of really cool stuff on that website. But yeah, we're gonna have a busy runway leading up to the kickoff of the IFL and NAL seasons in March. AF1 is going to be kicking off in April. I think TAL is kicking off at the very end of May. So we're going to have some staggered season kickoffs here very, very soon with preseason training camps starting over the next month or so. So it's super exciting time, and we'll be brainstorming and executing on some cool stuff on the socials. So we'll see you on socials. We'll see you next time for this. There's only 24 hours in a week. The fact that you chose, or 24 hours in a day, the fact that you chose to spend about 46 minutes watching the show, listening to the conversation with Mr. Patron means a lot. So thank you so much for taking the time. We'll see you on socials. Take care. Have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next time. Bye.